What's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is the Warehouse Series, so something new today. I don't do many of these anymore, video breakdowns. I only do these if you guys upload your videos over on Discord and you say that I can do a video breakdown on it. Remember, guys, when I'm going over this video, I am not critiquing the person in the video. I'm just going with what I teach on this channel, and I do like his movement in there. So I do want to say one thing before I get started. I am a wimp when it comes to these GoPros. In the beginning, everybody wanted me to wear a GoPro, and I like the still camera. Guys, I get nauseous watching these videos. I've watched this 3 times and I got nauseous every single time. There's the other guy that posts on his YouTube channel. He does GoPros as well. I'm weak, man. I get so nauseous watching these videos. That's why I like the still camera. Guys, if you want to subscribe, join Discord, I really appreciate it. That link is in the description below. Give me a thumbs up if you guys like the video. And if you want to help my channel by donating, I really appreciate it. And I do want to say something off topic, guys, before we get to the video. If you do not have life insurance, please get life insurance. All right. There's a YouTuber that I follow. I've been following for quite some time. I used to breed reptiles back in the day. I've sold to Brian. I bought off of Brian. I've had the privilege of talking to Brian on the phone. He's a very nice guy. Brian Barczyk, he has his own, reptarium up in Detroit, Michigan. Just a very great person for the industry, and unfortunately he has pancreatic cancer, and I feel for him. I feel for his family. I feel for his friends up there. He's such a great guy, but he does not have life insurance. He just announced that as the time I'm filming this video. So guys, get life insurance, please. If you have a family, you have loved ones you want to take care of whenever you pass away, please get life insurance. With that being said, let's get to the videos. All right, guys, so we're going to start here. The one thing I want you to notice is throughout this video, I did do some edits throughout the video, but non-stop, multiple cases, grabbing at a time. Anytime this person could grab 2 at a time, they're grabbing 2 at a time. Also notice they're building on the opposite side of the pallet first. When you have a large quantity, you do not want to stack on your side of the pallet and then have to walk around or reach over the cases you just thrown. So stack on the opposite side first and then stack on the side closest to you. And when I see a person do this right here, stack on the second layer, I know they know what they're doing. They don't have a complete layer, but they know how many cases they need. And we're just going to keep going here. I don't understand why we didn't fill in the back of this pallet. Probably just because he's throwing 2 at a time. And he just wants to keep that flow moving because there's that gap on the back that he does fill in right here. But constant movement, guys. Grabbing them, sliding them close to him, and then grabbing them. Now, I don't agree with these cases right here, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I'm going to pause this video. This is just something I preach all the time, and I'm going to stop it right there. So, see on the back of this pallet how these cases are facing that way? That's how I like cases being on the back of my pallet, because they, believe it or not, this makes your pallet that much more sturdy. And I told you the back, I think you should have a strong back because you're always going to get that shifting backwards. Now we're going to be, the front of that pallet's going to be pinned in with our back pallet, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But let's say that was the back of our pallet and you're running these thin cases this direction. Well, the amount of rock that you have backwards is going to be a lot greater than the rock you have running these cases this way. So me personally, if they are skinny cases like this, I like running them towards the middle of my pallet this direction. I just wanted to say that, but we're going to keep moving on here. Just constantly grabbing 2 at a time, guys. And there's really no aggression. He's slamming the cases down a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. So we're going to move on here, something different. Like I said, guys, I'm getting nauseous. I can't take this, man. I cannot take the constant spinning around. I remember watching a documentary at one time, and I couldn't figure out why the heck I was getting so sick. And it's because they had a camera, that they were carrying around. I just can't take it. So there are multiple things I want to say. Is at our warehouse, we're not even allowed to walk under these racks if there's product above it. Obviously, these double deep pick slots, you have no choice because it looks like you don't have a lot of people working in your warehouse. Guys, if you have to double deep pick like this and the front pallet's empty, step on the middle of the pallet. All right, always step in the center of the pallet. It's going to be the strongest point of that pallet. These Hawaiian punches, don't pull them by the flaps, grab them, bring it close to you, and then pick it up. People like to one-hand them and grab them by the flaps, and that's what happens. They fall all over the place. Another thing, I told them I like the jack, and then after doing the video, I don't like the jack. I like how it moves on its own, but all the beeping. Every time you push that button, beep, 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 beep. I couldn't listen to that all day. That would drive me nuts. All the wrap you got to fight with. It's like 50% of your slots are wrapped, and I just think it's bull. Now you are by yourself in the whole video, so my guess is you're staying on a shift that's there's no one there, and maybe you're working overtime, or you're on a night shift with a few select people. We're keeping our square cases together. See how we got our corners going, guys? We always start with our corners. We're, making sure that we got those strong corners. Now, throughout this video, I do notice a lot of times he has low corners with a high inside. But once again, he's throwing for time. All right, that's another reason why I like this video is his pallets still look good. But it's the constant motion. This is the type of rhythm that you should have when you're selecting. These skinny apple juices, he puts it right in the middle. He didn't put it on his corner, facing in on the inside of the pallet. They are not a sturdy case to be in the corner. If I have two of them and I'm higher on my pallet, I will use them as a corner. If not, I like to keep them within the crossing tee I talk about. I don't like that. It's not a big deal. I don't like putting cases that way in that part of the pallet. But once again, it's all, and that's another thing, guys. You don't ever see him touch his cases twice. This is strictly for speed and how fast can I go and build a decent pallet at the same time. There is no second here. These two Arizona tees right here, guys, I would never grab those two at a time. Those handles rip and they break real easy. So for new selectors, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, no double touching cases. I mean, this is all single touches. So a lot different for me, guys. Remember, when I throw in the warehouse, I don't have to throw every day anymore. I don't care about incentive. All what I care about is making my time and building a good pallet whenever I stack. He is stacking. I throw every day, and I'm trying to make incentive, and I'm trying to get this pallet out ASAP. So I like it. Now, right here, we're going to be throwing some Gatorades on the back. See, this is how I know he has a system. He left that whole back open. He knows he's coming up to Gatorades. Now, we recently got rid of our Gatorades. Pepsi took our Gatorades out. But there's something I want to point out right here. Once we get there, I think a little bit further. I do want to point out something. Now, I go three across, Perrier in the middle. I would have done the same thing. It's a weak case, and you don't want it for a corner. I would run my Gatorade separated in the back, three across. Now, he's 10 block in the back of the Gatorade. I'm not a fan of that. I just think the cases hang off a little bit. I'd rather have gaps and spaced out and stay square than having the opportunity of a case hanging off. Another thing, he ends up putting a Gatorade in the part of the pallet I don't like as well. So the thing I wanted to say right here is, let me pause. Oh, is that where I wanted to pause it? Yeah, we're going to back that up a little bit. And I just want to show you something right here. So what I would do is, because he puts a Gatorade here, puts another one down, then we start tying in and over here. I would run these Gatorades three across the back, nice and spaced. And then I would keep stacking them that same direction until I met my high. All right, so see how we have a low corner? See, just certain things, but you don't see no touching cases twice. So guys, this is the way you want to move when you know how to build pallets. But my theory is I would stack these Gatorades the same direction until I came pretty even with this, and then I would tie in. That's how I would do it. The reason being is if you put a Gatorade this direction tying in this back and you have a small gap right there and we have a hole right there, so whatever you put there is going to be leaning into the gap, which I actually think he does do that, and it does lean in. But yeah, it's just something I think about. Just like I say, guys, we might have different ways of building, but we get there at the same, we get the end result palette wise looks pretty similar. Now you notice the routine, guys. Gatorades on the back, water on the front, Gatorade on the back, water on the front. And then later on, when we get our palette higher, he puts Gatorades on the back once he starts getting towards the end of his order. So yeah, I like how he's moving. Just a nice constant motion. Touching, I'm getting nauseous. God, I can't take this, man. I'm so wimpy. Water's up front. I'm going to start looking at the webcam a little bit and try to focus on that. I can't take it, guys. I am such a wimp. But all the wrap that's on these pallets, that's another thing I just think is, yeah, so he put a Gatorade in that part that I was talking about, and I believe that Gatorade starts falling into that hole that I was also talking about. We're putting water up above. Whew, God, is anybody else like me? Is anybody else a big baby about freaking motion? I get motion sickness so quick, it's not even funny. So, yeah, we're putting the Dare Parks, guys, he's grabbing all these one at a time. You do not want to double hand Dare Parks because when you go to pick them up by the flaps, they break open real easy. And those cases are sold as one. So if you go and stretch out the side of it and the bottles start falling out, even if you put the bottles back in there, are you going to buy that at the store? No. Now, we used a slip sheet here. I think it's totally unnecessary. But you notice he did not waste time for it. Something tells me if that slip sheet was not grabbable right there, he wouldn't have used one. But the fact that it was there, he figured, what the heck, it's going to, literally took him a half a second to grab that slip sheet. What do we got? He's going to fill in his corner right here, which is a low corner. Once again, guys, just, what do we got? We don't have much time left, maybe about 2.5 minutes, good, because I'm going to get sick here. Water on its side. Once again, that's that level at all costs. He put that water on its side to be level to the case that's next to it. I had 0 liquids on its side, guys. Zero. I will put 0, 0, 0, 0 liquids on their sides. Now he's starting to put water on the back pallet. We're getting higher up. We're getting closer to the end of our order. And I would have done the same thing. Throw water on the front pallet until you have options to throw on the back. But right here, we're just going to keep stacking water. And we get a gap here in the back, if I recall. These thicker waters are good for the corners because they're wrapped tighter. Leave in the comment section below if you're like me, if you get nauseous watching these videos. I do think it's a great video, though, because it's a great learning thing for people to know. This is what it looks like from the point of view of a selector. Whenever I do my videos, I got my phone fixated on the jack. So we got about 1 minute and 23 seconds left of the video. So, yeah, right here, what do we got? We got more Dare Parks. Now, see the gap in the back? I would have separated that case, but like I said, he's not even taking the time to do that. It's just bam, bam, bam. Because when he puts a case down, it leans right into the middle of that back gap. And I'm all about spacing cases out and making it work that way. Like I would have just slid that case over. You'll see him put a case there in a second. When he puts it down, it just leans right into the gap. But doesn't seem overly concerned. It's up higher on the pallet. If it was lower, I really would have spaced it out. So you could tell we're getting close to the top. We're just topping off our pallet here, or closer to the end, I should say. Like that case right there. I'm just so particular, guys. I'm like, sometimes I just got compulsive behavior problems. I just want to make everything look so pretty. But I do make my times, but not incentive though. When I throw, I'm right around that 100% every time. All right, guys, we got about 15 seconds left. We're going to top off the last couple cases here, and then I want to talk about this a little bit. It's a little longer than usual when I do these videos because I'm talking over some stuff, but I believe that's the last of it. So we're going to stop that video. Whew. Motion sickness like crazy. That's why I will never use a GoPro, because I wouldn't be able to edit those videos. It would be so hard for me to do. I appreciate everybody watching. If you like these video breakdowns, watch my other ones in the playlist. And guys, if you want me to do a video on you selecting in the warehouse, post it, upload it to Discord, and I will reach out to you and we will do that. I appreciate it, guys. I hope everyone's enjoying the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.